Hello everyone, I am here with a Witcher 3 recording. In prior recordings, I talked about what I think is the best build and what I thought of the DLC. Recently, I managed to get the DLC and complete it. I wish to talk about some things that were mentioned on the internet, whether it be in guides or forums. This is in large part to correct the information that's there and add to it. In order for me to do that, I need to talk about my build first. When I started a new file and did all the DLC and all the main quests, I went for a build that stacks attack damage. So you'll notice I have woven armor, and I know that seems weird because if you remember from my prior recording, I do not see use in woven, and that is true. I still maintain that. However, due to a lot of new people playing Witcher on Twitch, um, I decided to see if I could come up with a build for the people who just so happen to have a hard-on for woven armor. So, the first part of stacking damage is from Heft. It's the enchantment that says all equipped armor items are treated as heavy armor. I know this is a bit weird on woven, but you'll see why in a minute. So let's go to my character. So you'll notice in my build, I went all the way down to Sunder Armor and the Strong Attack line. I only bought Muscle Memory, the first skill for fast attacks. I only got Resolve and Razor Focus in the Battle Trance line. The reason I didn't do Undying is because I think that skill is a waste of points. Once you get to higher levels, then you get White Rafford's Decoction and all of that, and at that point, you really do not die. As far as fast attacks, now I know this is a bit weird on this build, but it's there for a reason. It's not my main focus, obviously, but it's there to help me with smaller, faster attacking monsters such as wolves, pixies, and that kind of thing. Once they're clear, I'm free to use my strong attack. This build, unfortunately, does not have a lot of stamina regen, so Yarden is something I can't cast frequently, same goes with Quinn. So that's really a safeguard for me. As far as Alchemy is concerned, I actually did invest into Protective Coating, Fixative, and Synergy. Synergy is the other part of my damage stacking. It causes these mutagens to have 60% attack each. Even with something that isn't linked, it's still 15%. Vitality 900 just from one greater. To help the damage stacking, I have the protective coating and the fixative, which means blade oils do not wear off and they give me 25% protection against attacks from the monster type that the oil targets. As far as mutations, I went down to Euphoria, and I can show you that real quick. So that's another part of my damage stacking. It just says that depending on my toxicity, it increases my damage dealt and psi intensity. Because of the mutations, I got 2 skill slots to work with. So I put Acquire Tolerance and High Intolerance to push my toxicity to 245. Now keep in mind, I don't have all the level 1 and 2 and 3 recipes. So as far as I know, it can be increased to about 300 if I had the recipes. And then 330 with Metabolic Control or something like that. It's the general skill. Right there. As far as general skills, I have Bear School Techniques, which is why I have Heft in there. That increases my strong attack damage and vitality by 20% for having the 4 pieces. I have Battle Frenzy to give me critical hit chance per adrenaline point, and Focus to increase damage and psi intensity per adrenaline. Alright, so with my build now mentioned, let's go and talk about equipment because this kind of ties into all the stuff that I was talking about. So, you'll notice on the boots, trousers, and gloves, I have the vitality regeneration glyphs of bending. Um, no guides mentioned this really, and I can see why. These aren't good glyphs. The vitality regeneration, I think, is 3 every 10 seconds, so it's pretty minimal. If it was every 1 second, I may have changed my mind on that, but I'm not seeing too much regeneration from it. So this is a complete waste of gold and time, I think, due to the fact that you have to get the rune person up to level 3 just to get these greater glyphs of mending. You're better off getting glyphs of Quinn at that going rate, which luckily glyphs of Quinn do drop pretty frequently as you go through the game. Um, moving on to the swords. Now, the guides do mention that Erendite is the best sword in the game. That's true as far as I can see. Um, what's wrong with it is how you get it. A lot of the guides say that in order to complete the generosity virtue, you have to give that messenger kid 5 gold. The one that brings you the note from Yennefer talking about the mutations, I think it was. I didn't do it in my playthrough, but I did quickly correct it by helping the spotted white. I think that's what triggered it. Um, so basically, when you do that spotted white quest, you have the option of lifting the curse. If you do, and then allow the woman to live at your home um, at the vineyards, then that completes the generosity virtue as far as I can tell. Um, moving on to Victus. Now, this is something that was not really mentioned in any of the guides I saw. It's not listed under the best swords in the game, which is very surprising to me. I think it's probably because not many know its location. I didn't really have much to work on when I went looking for it. So where I found it was on a Knight's Corpse in the Beyond the Hills and Dale quest. It's going to be on the left side of the tower where you find the bean. You just loot the knight and it's there. I'm pretty sure Victus is the very end of the Steel Sword line, so that deserves more mentions, I think. It is a really great sword. Um, now to talk about the bombs, because the guides do say to use the bombs in the Heart of Stone DLC for the Toad boss, but even a superior grape shot and a superior dancing star won't really do that much damage to that toad. You will run out of bombs by the time you um, try to even get a quarter of its health out. So what I would recommend doing instead is using Golden Oriole. The superior Golden Oriole does make it so poisons now heal instead of doing damage. This makes the toad battle so much easier. All you do is you drink that, and if the toad hits you with its toxins, the Golden Oriole will heal it. The only concern you have when fighting the toad is the tongue attack and it trying to squash you. Just dodge those and keep your Golden Oriole up. If need be, use White Rafford's decoction and the Swallow Potion. Now, I will show you that. Superior Swallow does say at this particular rank that taking damage does not interrupt regeneration, so that's super important. White Rafford's at Superior restores vitality immediately and fully. It also grants immunity to damage for short duration. Between these two, you should not die. If you do, you've done something wrong. Anyways, the final thing I wish to mention when it comes to equipment that's not mentioned, guys, is the saddle. There's a quest called the Warble of a Smitten Knight. This quest, if you choose to do it, puts you through the Knights tournaments. If you do it and you complete all the tournament things flawlessly, you get an achievement for it, and you get some equipment from it. One of them is the Sir Geralt of Rivia's saddle. As far as I know, this is an in-game saddle. It has 90 stamina. That is a lot higher than any other saddle I've seen going through this playthrough. The other thing that's not mentioned in the guides is the Beauclair saddlebags. This I got from random loot, and it gives 110 maximum inventory weight. This is the highest I've ever seen with saddlebags, so I'm fairly certain that this is also in-game. Now this isn't part of the DLC, but this is the Zurichian blinders. This you can actually loot from the house in Freya's garden once you unlock the door and go in the bedroom. I've seen this twice in 2 different playthroughs. So I'm pretty convinced that that's a set drop. That's 60 horse fear level, and it's the highest that I've seen so far up until the Blood and Wine DLC. There are other blinders that are 60 horse fear level, but they do cost money if you happen to want to change the look of your horse. However, the blinders are free. So that's really all I have when it comes to correcting the guides and talking about equipment. I hope that this helps everybody in their playthrough of The Witcher. Thanks for listening.